BS Show, Season 4, Episode 14. Sean Gankhurst with Justin Chasmore, Adam Tynan. And boys, a losing streak, unfortunately, is continuing this year in the wild year of the NFL, the wild year of fantasy football that we've been talking about. As we've been saying too, it's December. It is stretch time. Playoff pictures really taking form. I noticed today, I looked at the AFC, and I'm pretty sure there are 13 teams that have at least 6 wins in that conference, which I think is absolutely wild. And it is going to be a fun final month of the football season. Boys, the record ain't great. We have an extra week. It is savorable. How are we feeling? Christmas right around the corner. Best time of the season for football coming up.
Yeah, looking to do a lot of relaxing over this winter break. Watch a lot of football. I mean, even college football now, everything is just crazy with standings, fantasy. We're talking about pre-show with all the, everything up for grabs this week in fantasy, a lot of playoffs being decided. It's a fun football season, but obviously very frustrating for gamblers.
Yeah, I think the most exciting thing is the fantasy playoffs. We talked about it across our leagues. It seems that there's a lot of teams that are right neck and neck with each other for seeding for playoffs, and it comes down to this week or next week whenever you end your season. So it'll definitely be fun the next few weeks for fantasy playoffs. But as far as our locks, hopefully we get those rolling into the last few weeks to try and salvage this record.
Yeah, I mean, it has, like I said, been an absolute wild NFL season. I don't think anybody could have predicted the standings we are seeing right now coming into the final month, but hey, this is why we play the games. And I think it's been truthfully the most fun football season I have ever watched, because it's always unpredictable, but I think this is something we've kind of never seen before, all to the fact because you add one extra game to the season. And I just think it's a lot of teams trying to adjust and play their strategy for a whole season, just that one extra game. But like I said, that's why we play them. We got another week here starting Thursday Night Football with Gonzo as always. Chaz, Gonzo has the Vikings at home, 3-point favorites against the Steelers, who, as always, as we said, incredible game against the Ravens. We know that's just going to happen every time those two step on the field, but Steelers getting 3 on the road, over under 43.5. Where is Gonzo going with this one?
Yeah, I'll be quick here with Gonzo's pick because I think everyone's excited to hear Gank's rant on Kirk Cousins. Gonzo's taking the Steelers +3. I'm going to take him to win 24-23. I can't trust the Vikings. And the Steelers defense looked incredible last week against the Ravens. Offense got clicking in the second half, so they're going against a weak Vikings defense. I expect them to play another good game. All right, Gonzo, Steelers 24-23.
Yeah, I mean, I'll hop in quick too so the gang can get going. But that being said, I don't know what the Vikings cornerback was doing against the Lions last week to just let him walk into the end zone with one play left. But that was a bold strategy that did not work out. And I couldn't have been happier because I hate the Vikings and I took some money from Gang. So that being said, Chaz, I'm with you. I'm with Gonzo as well. I like the Steelers to cover. I think they're going to win as well. Vikings just kind of seems like that year where they just can't find a way to win in crunch time. And those years just kill teams. I think it was a crushing loss, short week. I like the Steelers off a big win. I like the points here as well. I'm going to go 27-24 Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I may disappoint a little. I do want to rant on Kirk Cousins. I mean, I just don't even know what to say about that. I mean, you look at the guy, everybody knows when you look at Kirk Cousins, great against those garbage teams like the Lions. And then it's when you play the better teams when you're they get the bad Kirk Cousins. Hence why I spent a lot of years in the past shitting on him. She's never won a big one. Lose a game like that, it is brutal. As much as I hate Kirk for it, Adam, you said it. I don't know what the corner on Minnesota's thinking. I cannot put all that blame on Kirk for that one as much as I want to. Like, you're playing a winless team, and the only thing you have to do defensively is just make one stop when it matters most. And you just kind of fall off the ball last play of the game there on the goal line and just simply not to get a job done. Big time cost of money. When drinks start flowing at 10 in the morning like they did that Sunday too, it may have me a lot more heated than I was at the time, than I am right now, obviously. But yeah, just a pitiful performance from Kirk. And now we come into this game, Chaz, you said Steelers defense. incredible game against that Ravens team this past Sunday. Minnesota, especially if they're out Thielen, they're going to be in a lot of trouble against the Steelers defense. I'm with you guys. Kirk Cousins, I mean, if you can't beat the Lions, there's no way you're beating this Pittsburgh defense this week. Give me the Steelers on the road in this one, 20-17.
All got him outright too.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah, at worst, you see a field goal game, at least in my opinion. So,
yeah. All right. AFC West Chiefs red hot again. And all of a sudden, back up there in the AFC, hanging right there around with the Patriots and the Ravens right now. Now they're home against the Raiders, 9.5-point favorites at Arrowhead. Over under 48.5. We said a lot. I know I said a lot during the first half of the season. The Chiefs struggling. I felt like every week, new week would come by. I would say this is the week the Chiefs would figure it out. Obviously, they haven't figured it out, but now it's starting to look like at a time as we're getting to the stretch run that this team's figuring it out. They want to hit their stride, and they're as big as a threat as I think we all imagined them coming into the season, coming down the stretch, going into the playoffs. This is not a team I want to see. I do not want to go to Arrowhead right now. Vegas, as always, roller coaster of a season. I mean, how many times over the past 3-4 years have we watched Vegas come out to a hot start, look like this is the year they're getting over the top, and then here we are in December, and all of a sudden they're a 500 team outside looking in for the playoffs, and we don't know what to expect. So I think Vegas, it's kind of fell off. The Chiefs are getting hot. 9.5 is a big spread in a divisional game like this. The Raiders, one of the few divisional teams that have had some success against Mahomes and the Chiefs over the past couple of years, but not this one in Arrowhead. The Chiefs are just doing too well right now. I think a big game for Mahomes after a slower Sunday night game against Denver, in which their defense has been incredible, stepped up and made some plays. I look for them to make more plays here. Steve Spagnuolo, always slow start for a defense, always gets rolling come November. It's the same thing, new year. Chiefs, they should be Super Bowl favorites. I believe they may be again right now, and they're the team to watch. I get them to win and cover here, 31-21.
yeah, gang. I mean, I'm with you here. I mean, I don't think the Chiefs cover. I do think the Raiders find a way to cover this. Seems like a lot of points. But this strikes me as a game where offensively both teams have a big day. The Chiefs have just been kind of playing slow and struggling a little bit here and there. Mahomes obviously isn't exactly where he wants to be. But the past few years, I feel like Raiders Chiefs has just been shootout after shootout, where it's been a close one possession game. And that's why I think it's going to be very similar now. Weird now the Chiefs cover, but they don't hit the over, which is kind of odd. But, I'll take them to win here. Raiders cover. Close game, fun game to watch, a lot of points. But Chiefs come away with the win, 31-24.
I'm with AT here. I'm going to take the Chiefs to win, Raiders to cover. I don't expect it to be like the first time these two teams played this year, where the Chiefs won like 41-13 or whatever it was, that blowout in Vegas. I think 9.5 is a massive line for a divisional game this late in the season. And the Raiders are, I mean, again, you said it, I feel every year they're in this same exact spot, 6-6 or whatever it is. And we're talking about them, if they can win a few games, to sneak into the playoffs. And I mean, they're sitting 6-6. Obviously, they're trying to sneak in one of those last AFC wildcard spots. So I think we're going to get their best effort here. The Chiefs, don't get me wrong, they are on a winning streak. They are now sitting 8-4, which if you said that, after week 3, I think people might have questioned you. But I don't think they're playing as good as the Chiefs as we've seen. I think Mahomes doesn't really look like his natural Mahomes self. I mean, they're always going to be a threat. Going Arrowhead's a tough place, but I'm going to take the Chiefs to win, Raiders to cover here. I'm going to go 28-23 Chiefs.
It's a fun football game too.
Is there?
All right. New Orleans heading to MetLife. Saints 5.5-point road favorites here. Over under 43.5. And I'm not gonna lie, first look at this line, I almost want to take the Jets plus 5.5 right away. But the more I think about it, I don't think I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna take the Saints to win and cover here. And the reason with that is, the Jets honestly just not that good at football this year. And their biggest problem is their run defense. Feels like a good game where the Saints, who We know what their quarterback situation is. They're come out, they're going to want to run the football, and I think they're going to have some success doing it against the Jets. I think they're in control of the game, get that game, the game plan they wanted to work at, control the clock, and kind of just do all they can to win this game and cover. Defense will be good. I think it's to give Zach Wilson some problems. And here comes my random score game, and to go a half point under, but give me the Saints to win and cover here 26-17.
I'm with you. Saints have just quietly lost 5 in a row, which kills me. But again, my prediction, like I said, was with Jameis at Q. So not really my Saints necessarily. But that being said, I feel like this is just kind of a get right game. Long week from Thursday playing. They can, game plan a little better. Sean Payton comes out, runs the ball really well. Beats a Jets team that Gank said it pretty well, just not very good at football. That being said, Elijah Moore looks like he's the real deal. A guy who the Giants passed up on to get their 4th receiver, just throwing it out there. And that
hey, let's be fair. Tony has been very good when he's been on the field.
Yeah, okay. Well, either way, I'm going to take the Saints to win and cover here in an ugly MetLife game. I like the under. I'm going to go 20-13 New Orleans.
All right, well, AT liked the under last week, and that didn't go too well. So for everyone watching, please just go take the over right now. I'm with you guys. I'm going to take the Saints to win and cover. I think the long week is going to help the Saints. They kind of were on like 2 days notice that Taysom was going to start last week on Thanksgiving. They're not on Thursday night. So now he gets a long week to practice. I said it last week. Kamara's going to be back. He decided not to play. Sounds like Kamara's going to be back. It sounds like they're getting healthy again. It's a great spot to end your 5-game losing streak, like AT said. So I'm gonna go with the Saints to win and cover barely. Low scoring. I'm gonna go 24-17 Saints.
Do that, Adam, huh? Have they really lost 5 in a row?
Yeah.
I mean, that is kind of a Jameis effect, the no Kamara, obviously. I mean, it's just not ideal, but wow. All right. AFC South here. Jacksonville heading to Tennessee. Tennessee 8.5-point favorites at home. Another over under at 43.5 here. I do not have much to say on this one. Tennessee, obviously, all their offensive weaponry has been out. No Derrick Henry, no AJ Brown, no Julio Jones. Hopefully you get Julio back this week, but this is more so what I have to say about the Jaguars. If I'm not mistaken, I think Trevor Lawrence has thrown 1 touchdown pass in his last 5 games or something like that. Right when I thought that maybe him and Urban Meyer were not going to do anything great, but maybe get some progress going into year 2 next year, and they kind of have taken another step down, I think. Meanwhile, the Titans are in a race for the top of the AFC still, and this is a very winnable game at home. This is one they know they have to get, and I think they go out there and get a job done. I think the Tennessee offense comes to life this week, even with all their injuries, and just take care of business at home. I'll take the Titans to win and cover in this one, 27-14.
Yeah, I mean, the spread here is a little bit of a stay away just because I could see the Jags with a backdoor cover, and the Titans have lost to some bad teams, especially in division. But off a bye, I think they kind of come out ready to go. Julio's healthy, has a decent day. And the Jags, I just can't pick to cover really at all because they just got smoked. I think it was 31-0 against the Colts, and that's just not going to make me pick them. So
that's your win in the lock last week.
The only one. That's it, baby. But I kind of like the over, even though they've struggled offensively, the Jags. I don't see either defenses being great here. So I'm going to take Titans to win and cover 27-17.
Yeah, I'm right there with you guys. I'm going to take the Titans to win and cover. I'm going to go 21-10 Titans. I think the Jags are they're in a bad spot right now. Obviously, they're a bad football team. But, even last week, the Jags, first play of the game, they gave it to James Robinson. Aaron Donald, kills him. He fumbles, and Urban Meyer benches James Robinson. He is your best offensive weapon. What are you doing benching him? Just doesn't make any sense. So I think the Jags are in shambles. I don't expect them to score many points this week. I'll go, like I said, Titans 21-10.
All right, Chaz. Running it back pretty quickly here. Baltimore traveling to Cleveland now. Ravens 2.5-point dogs on the road, over under 41.5. As we said during the Steeler game, top of the show. And as we called last week, just another great game between your Ravens and Steelers last week. And now Ravens squeaked by the first game against Cleveland, even after a terrible game from Lamar. Can they go on the road and beat them again?
I unfortunately do not think they will. They got shafted here, and I think with the schedule, they had to play Sunday night against them. Then they had to obviously travel to Pitt, which is one of the most physical games they'll play all year. And now they have to go back to Cleveland, and Cleveland had a bye in between both games they play the Ravens. So kind of a bad spot for them here. Obviously, the biggest thing with the Ravens right now, they lost their number one cornerback, Ron Humphrey, for the season, which on a depleted secondary already, that just puts the nail in the coffin. They were the worst team against the pass before that. So God knows what Aaron Rodgers is going to do to them in a week. But when it comes to this game, like you see 41.5 points, I see Lamar Jackson. I want to say take the over all day. So I'm going to say that, but I'm going to take the Browns to win here. I unfortunately just think it's a bad spot for the Ravens. I'm going to go 27-21 Browns. Must win too for the Browns at home.
Yeah, Chaz, I mean, I agree. Only I like it when you agree with what I'm thinking with the Ravens, because you're usually right with them. I just see this as a tough matchup. I think long-term, the Ravens will win the division and take care of business and all that. But at home, Cleveland, they know they got to win this game. Off a bye. Stefanski's a good head coach. I think he'll dial up some stuff against depleted defense. And, a tough loss for the Ravens, but they played well enough to win, just got unlucky at the end. And the Browns just kind of need it a little bit more. And so I like the Browns to find a way to win at home, and kind of an ugly AFC North matchup. Maybe some points. I hope so for fantasy, but, you never know with Lamar and that defense as well. So I'm going to take the Browns to win and cover here, 23-20.
All right, I'm going to go against both you guys right here. I'm going to take the Ravens to win this game outright. You said, Chaz, no Marlon Humphrey. That's a big blow, especially in the secondary that hasn't been good. But as I've been saying all year, when you're asking Baker Mayfield to beat you, that's asking a lot. And I don't think he can do that. And the Ravens are still a good team. I mean, Lamar played terrible against his team 2 weeks ago, and the Ravens still found out a way to win. I don't think he's going to play nearly as bad this time around in Cleveland as he did at home. I think he comes out, plays better. He's already seen them once, still pretty fresh in his mind. No Ravens, tough loss last week, and I think they're bounce back and get a win. This Cleveland team, I don't think is nearly as good as what we saw last year. They just have a lot of problems going around. Just this team all year, kind of starting with Odell. You get rid of him, you get him out. But like I said, yeah, you can throw against Baltimore. I still don't trust Baker Mayfield to make throws. So Baltimore still stops the run. I think they win the game. I think that's something they could do. And I'm going to take the Ravens in the upset here, 20-19.
I like it.
Forget a dub, Ravens. I've been very anti-Cleveland this year.
Yeah.
It's been kind of working though, more times than not, honestly.
Yeah, Yank, you really don't like Cleveland, but I mean, Baker is giving you no reason to like him, so I can't hate that.
It's proved me right too a lot. So, here's a matchup here: Falcons and Panthers. I don't know who wants to take this one first. Panthers 3-point favorites at home, over under 43.5. I mean, that you look at the NFC South, you have the Buccaneers and then a bunch of teams that are 5-7, I believe. So, Chaz, Adam, anybody feeling confident on this one? Have a confident side anyway?
I'll hop in here. I haven't picked the Panthers exceptionally well this year. I feel like every time I've bet or locked them, I've lost. But I just think off a bye, they kind of find a way to win a divisional matchup at home. It's obviously a stay away game for me, especially with the 3 points. I think it'll be a close one. Carolina is a really weird team. You just don't know who's going to show up. Their defense is lights out one week, then gets beat. Offense, I mean, Cam had like 15 incompletions out of 20 pass attempts 2 weeks ago, right? So I'll take the Panthers to win at home in a divisional matchup. But like I said, stay away here. And I think it will be a defensive game, actually. I'm going to take the Panthers to win 21-17.
Yeah, I'll take the Panthers too. I'm with you, Adam. I mean, complete stay away I don't know how I'm going to touch this. I mean, if anything, I actually think take by some points with Atlanta if you want to throw in a teaser. But yeah, I'll take the Panthers defense to make the few plays at home too. Maybe their offense could get going a little bit against an Atlanta defense that's obviously been questionable more times than not over, let's just say, the past 4 or 5 years in general. So yeah, I'm with you. Panthers win. I'll give them the cover 21-17.
Yep, let's all ride with the Panthers here. I've been an advocate that the Falcons are simply not a good football team, so I'm not going to take them to win a divisional game on the road in December, especially Panthers coming off a bye. Maybe Cam plays well. He has to play better than he played in Miami a few weeks ago. So I'll take the Panthers here. Like you guys said, the most stay away game I think on the board. Nothing in this game makes me want to touch it. I'll go Panthers 17-13.
That is just not a fun football game anywhere around there.
Not a fun football game.
That's all that is. Crazy though, whoever wins that game is really still going to be in the wild card picture, though. So kind of a big one, but all right, NFC East. Jazz's red hot Washington football team, 4-point dogs at home against Dallas here, over under 47.5. Jazz, it's been a brutal start from Washington, but now they're at a point where I don't even think they're holding the final spot. I think with the ties and everything, they were actually holding the 6th spot in the NFC. Can they stay hot at home against Dallas here? The rest of their games all divisional.
Yeah, I mean, they put themselves in a good spot. They control their own destiny. Last week was a huge win in Vegas. I mean, at least I thought that was a game that they could lose and still make it up because of their remaining schedule. So I think that was a huge win for them. Now they come back home against the number 1 team in the division. And if they win this game, they are very much alive to win the NFC East. And because of my thoughts on the football team before the year and the position they're in now, I'm going to take them to win here at home, because if they want to win the division, they just simply have to. I'll take them +4, obviously, regardless. I think if the Cowboys win, I think it stays within those 4 points. Divisional game in December, like I said, I'm usually going to take anything more than 3 points. But I'm going to take the football team to go to 7-6 and spice up the NFC East and make it really come down to the last 3 weeks. So I'll go football team 28-27 in a fun football game.
Yeah, so
like that.
The football team, I've obviously hated them most of the year. Won some money, lost some money. I feel like I bet them with Gank like 3 weeks in a row. But I do think they cover this week. I like the Cowboys to win. I think Taylor Heineke kind of struggles a little bit defensive with the Cowboys defense. Move the ball, but Cowboys defense forces a few turnovers as they have all year. Long week to prepare as well. I just think the Cowboys are too much for him in the end. Maybe last minute field goal to win this one in Washington. Good game. They play well, and to their credit, they have played very well this year with their backs against the wall. But I feel like they're just a little bit due for a loss in close games, and I think this is that loss. I like the Cowboys to win. Then the football team covers. I'll go 27-24.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with Adam here. We're going to take Dallas to win. Probably, I'm leaning Washington to cover because of that +4. I do see this as a 3-point game. I almost want to take Dallas to cover. Won't do that with this spread gambler. I'll stay away from. Maybe find Dallas in a money line piece, I think. But I still just think Dallas is simply too good of a team. We've seen earlier in the year Dallas really come out to a hot start, look very good before kind of being up and down like most of the NFL, midpoint of the season. But I think Dallas can still kind of hit their stride going into the playoffs and be a team that, maybe not a lot of people want to see in the NFC. Their offense is very good. They start getting healthy again. Get some pieces back at clicking. Murray Cooper and CeeDee Lamb kind of been up and down the past couple of weeks. Are they going to play? Are they not going to play? That offense just needs to kind of find its rhythm again and get going. And they're once again to be a threat and a team you don't want to see in the NFC. And yes, Trayvon Diggs has been great. I still think the best way to beat Dallas is if you can find a way to throw against them. And great as Taylor Heineke has been, as fun as he's been to watch, I still don't trust him completely when it comes to throwing the ball. I think Dallas and Micah Parsons, that defense will do enough to stop the rushing attack of Washington. And I think that'll be enough for them to win this game, steal it late. I'm with you guys. Going to be a fun football game to watch. Give me Dallas 27. I'll go same score as you, Adam, 27-24. All right. Seattle and Houston. Seattle, 7.5-point road favorites here. Over under 41.5. Houston, we're going Mills this week, aren't we? More than likely.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, so
As his waiver wire says so.
Yep. My starting quarterback.
there he is. I'll keep this short and sweet then. Take Seattle to win and cover. A play I actually do love right here is the over. Seattle, talked about them a couple of weeks ago, how their offense has been struggling. Finally got it together last week, put up 30 points last week. That's what you expect to see when you have Russell Wilson in there. And against this Houston team, I mean, I see him following that up. Score some points, get another win. You win against Seattle. Hey, like I said, look at that NFC wild card. 5-6 wins has you right in the picture. And you kind of get yourselves there to another win here this week. But I do love the over because Mills, obviously not ideal what you want starting, but Seattle's defense also hasn't been ideal. No, he wants to put up some points at home against his defense. It's a chance to do it. And 41.5 is a very low number. I expect both teams to score here. I think Seattle could almost hit 30 again. Houston hitting double digits after getting shut out against this defense, I think is very likely. Give me Seattle to win. Give me this game to go over 31-14.
Yeah, again, I mean, I don't nearly have the confidence being as the Seahawks. I don't even know if they've beaten the team by more than a freaking touchdown this year. But that being said, I don't like the over. I think Seattle's offense has struggled. They had one decent week, but maybe it's because I traded for DK Metcalf and the guy just doesn't catch any passes anymore. That being said, I am going to take Seattle to win and cover in an ugly, low-scoring match. If anything, Houston has held some teams defensively at home, and former Bear great coach Lovie Smith is their D coordinator. So I like the under here, or low scoring matchup. Seahawks win and cover in an ugly game. I'm going to go 20-10 Seattle.
AT loving the under makes me love the over that much more. I'm gonna get. I love the over here. I'm actually going to take the Texans to cover here too because I think there's going to be points scored. I don't think the Seahawks are going to really be able to pull away. We've seen Davis Mills when he started in previous games this season, whether it was from the start or a backdoor cover, he somehow just scores points. And the game that comes to mind is when they were down, I want to say like 33 points to the Rams and ended up losing by like 6. He scored like 21 points in the fourth quarter. So if they're down big, I don't put it past them to have a backdoor cover. I think 7.5 is a lot for a Seattle team that has looked pretty bad. Obviously, they're 4-8. They looked better last week. Put up 30 points. So, but that defense is still bad. So I'm going to take the over here with a lot of confidence. I'm going to go Seahawks to win 28-23.
Wow, that's a lot of points.
Love that. All right. 4:00 swing games here, starting off in Denver. Detroit coming off their first win against Kirk Cousins, of course, because why the fuck not? 8-point dogs on the road now, over under 42. Let me be pretty quick on this one. I'm going to take Denver to win. I'm going to take Detroit to cover here. I mean, Denver is still very much in a playoff race in the AFC, coming off that loss to Kansas City. And Denver is just, as we know, year after year, it's always one of the tougher places to go. Detroit, huge win. I know it's only one, but to get that weight off your shoulders is always nice. It's almost feels as if they'll come into this game with a little bit of hangover just because they finally got one. But with that said, they'll be able to give Denver a fight. Detroit's defense is nothing great, but I don't think it's as bad as a lot of people kind of made it seem to be. It is most of the year. They haven't showed some bright spots this season, but with that said, Denver's going to take care of business at home. 8 still too big of a number. Detroit has covered a lot this year. So give me Denver to win. Detroit covers. Game goes under by a point, 24-17.
Yeah, gang. I mean, I think Detroit's offense really struggles this week after a big win. I think this is one of those games where Denver just takes care of business at home. Their defense plays really well, maybe a pick six or fumble recovery, touchdown, something like that. Because Detroit, coming off of their big win, I think going to Denver is the worst case scenario for them. Denver needs to win this game. Their defense played well last week against Mahomes. They just couldn't score. And, Denver will win an ugly, low-scoring matchup here. And I think the Lions really struggle offensively to get anything going. And Denver takes care of business 23-10.
I almost have the same score as you, AT. I'm going to go with the Broncos to win and cover here. Lions traveling to Denver just sounds like a bad recipe. Obviously, coming off the first win, Broncos, another team 6-6, right in the thick of things for that last wild card at home. I think they're just going to simply take care of business, unlike the Vikings last week. So I'll go Broncos 23-9.
Jared Goff has like his best fantasy matchup in like 2 months against Chaz last week.
Yeah, I mean, of course.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
All right. My Giants heading to LA to play the Chargers. Chargers 10.5-point favorites at home, over under 44.5. Giants, after that game in Miami last week, actually flew straight out to Arizona. So I guess we're practicing out there this week. But with that said, I'm going to say this about the Giants right now, and I'm Giant fans out listen. I'm going to turn a lot of heads. I am on the fire Joe Judge train well before I'm on the fire Gettleman train right now. And I firmly believe that. I actually look at this Giants roster, and I actually think it's good. And people can shit on Gettleman all you want. I mean, Andrew Thomas is turning out to be the franchise left tackle he drafted. Adam, I know you're talking your shit about Tony earlier, but like, rookie season's going to have up and downs. Unfortunately, he's been a little hurt, but like when that guy's on the field, he's been a playmaker. And the sad truth is he may have the most pass attempts on the Giants roster going into this game if Jake Fromm's going to be their starting quarterback. Azeez Ojulari, the second round pick, 6.5 is second in the NFL of all rookies in sacks. Like, I think Gettleman has put together a pretty good roster. He's been hitting on a lot more draft picks than people want to give him credit for. And I think it's going unnoticed. And Joe Judge and this offense just can't find a way to get it working at all. And I don't think that blame's on Gettleman, honestly. I think he's put the pieces together and I'm putting it more on coaching than him now. They just can't get it to work. But with that said, let's get to this game. Chargers minus 10.5. The Giants, as we know, over the past couple of years, as bad as they've been, has been a covering machine. And I'll actually take them to cover this 10.5. I'm obviously to take the Chargers to win the game. I think the hook is the key here in this one, but especially there's no Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen got put on the COVID list today. And if percentages of tell us anything, yes, he's vaccinated, but even so, percentages tell us anything. Even vaccinated players that got put on the list at this point in the league, percentages say he's likely going to miss the game this week. So I'll make this pick guessing he's going to miss, but the Giants defense has been a lot better in the second half of the season so far than it was the first. I think they'll do enough to keep the Chargers in check because there's no Keenan Allen. The Giants had the secondary to kind of keep Mike Williams in check and dare other guys to beat them. But the Giants offense, as we know, just simply won't do enough to keep up with the Chargers. Chargers win, Giants cover by the hook here, 27-17.
Yeah, gang. I mean, well said. And as much as I do hate on the Tony pick, I don't think it's necessarily a bad one. I just wasn't the need necessarily. And to go off your point, Gettleman has them positioned for 2 top 15, if not top 10 picks next year. Say what you want, but the roster really isn't bad. I think the offensive coordinator was the wrong hire. Even Freddie Kitchens isn't the right guy either, but you got to give credit where credit is due to a GM when he puts that team together. That being said, I actually have a very similar score to you, 10-point difference. I want to take the Chargers to cover, but that hook just scares me too much. And especially without Keenan, I don't know. The Chargers could come and lay an egg and lose this game for all we know because they don't show up every week. I don't think they will, but I do see it as a 10-point game. And I think that the Chargers will take care of business, but the Giants keep it close. Maybe they pull away late. Chargers. I'm going to go 24-14 LA.
I'm kind of shocked I'm the only one that's going to take the Chargers to cover here, but I'm 100% going to take the Chargers to cover here. And it's simply because I just think it's a horrible mix for the Giants. and I don't know how much they're going to be able to score. Jake Fromm's first NFL start. He's been on the Giants for like 11 days. Second week of a new offensive coordinator. It's just not a good recipe. I mean, maybe he'll come out and ball out for all we know, but nothing can give me confidence to take them with the points without ever seeing Jake Fromm start an NFL football game. And then you flip it on the other side. The Chargers just put up an offensive clinic in Cincinnati. They almost blew it in typical Charger fashion, but they ended up hanging on and put up enough points. So I expect the offense to continue to roll here and stay hot. I mean, they're 7-5 now, and a lot of people had them deep into the playoffs for the AFC. If their offense can keep rolling, obviously Keenan is a huge part of that. So we'll see if he plays. But if Herbert plays like he did last week, the Chargers are going to be a tough out. So I'm going to take the Chargers to win and cover 27-10.
Probably.
Kind of hoping the Giants run the ball because the Chargers can't stop the run. Saquon has a big day. Is that crazy? I really
Saquon should have
very
20
possible. Yeah.
against his defense.
Yeah,
I think if Keenan Allen plays, the Chargers will probably cover. So I think that offense that click a lot more.
Yeah.
But if there's no Keenan Allen, like Giants will shut down Mike Williams. He's the only receiver they have to worry about. And then turns into the Austin Eckler show probably, but we'll see. All right. Big game out in Cincinnati here. San Fran, 1-point dog on the road. Over under 48.5. Bengals roller coaster a couple weeks, go out, smoke Pittsburgh for a second time this season. And then, as Chaz just mentioned, the game against the Chargers last week kind of fought themselves back in it. Chargers almost blew, but when it was all said and done, let's be honest, Cincinnati essentially got dominated that game start to finish. So now we come into this game, big one at home against the Niners. And the biggest question is what Bengal team are we going to see? And to be honest, this is very rare for me, but I'm going to take the Niners to win this game outright. Cincy has obviously exceeded expectations, I believe, personally, this season so far, but I don't know if they could do enough against this 49ers defense. I think the 49ers kind of keep Jamar Chase in check. I think of Joe Mixon, who has finally rewarded his fantasy owners this year, can kind of get kept in check a little bit. And it's just more gut feeling than anything that the Niners kind of come out in this one, slow down Joe Burrow and this Bengals offense. And the Bengals defense that wasn't that good last week may not look that good again. And I think Jimmy G can do enough with this Niners offense to get a job done and win the game here. Going to be a fun one to watch. Give me the Niners at the buzzer, 24-23.
Yeah, gang. I mean, I agree with this kind of being a toss-up. I am excited to watch this game because I think both defenses force turnovers, but aren't exactly great defenses. So that'll be fun. I mean, last week the Bengals practically handed the Chargers the game with that fumble. They could have won. They're just kind of a team that's not really ready to know how to win yet, but they have talent, and I think they will win this week. It'll be a really close one. I think Elijah Mitchell has a big day. I think Joe Mixon has a big day. I love the over here. I don't see these defenses having, too much success against both offenses with a lot of talent on each side of the ball. That being said, I think it'll be really fun. I see a field goal game as well, but I think the Bengals come out on the top in this one. I'm going to go 27-24, Cincy.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised I'm doing this too, but I'm with Gank. I'm going to take the Niners, and maybe part of it is because I'm a Ravens fan and I want to see the Bengals lose here for the Ravens, but they've exceeded expectations, like you guys said, and I think this is going to be close to a playoff game atmosphere in Cincinnati this week. Two teams that are obviously fighting for a playoff spot. The Niners coming off a pretty bad loss, I would say, in Seattle last week. I think the Niners are just more ready to win close games in December right now than the Bengals. And not to mention Joe Burrow's pinky, I don't know if you saw it last week, was like shooting the other way and he was still throwing the football somehow, so we'll see how his hand is, but that's obviously a big injury when it limits you throwing the football. But yeah, like I said, I'm going to take the Niners to win here. I like the points as well. I'm going to go Niners 28-27.
Yeah, Gank, did you see his pinky? His right pinky was like
I
sideways.
did
It
not.
was literally sideways.
Yeah, and he's throwing a football on the sideline.
And then he's like screaming how bad it hurts and like holding his pinky. Like,
Yeah, he kept playing.
Is he playing this week?
Yeah, he played through the game.
yeah, I think, but he's definitely going to be limited of what he can do.
That happened to Will Greer, his first of 2 seasons at West Virginia. A guy missed like 3 fucking games. And Joe Burrows would go out and fucking play.
Played the second half and played all right. Like he was making some throws.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a gamer.
Yeah. He's got heart.
Yeah.
Shane Falco, baby. All right. Tell you what, both the 425 games were fun this week. Buffalo heading to Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay 3-point favorites at home. Over under 52.5. I'm gonna be down in Florida for this one. God, should have looked ahead and planned better. But with that said, I mean, Buffalo, we watched last night and I mean, 50-mile-per-hour winds, the on and off snow that it was. New England threw the ball 3 times and found a way to go on the road and beat Buffalo. But now Buffalo heading on the road here to the Tampa Bay team where you're going to expect some better weather down in Tampa, over under 52.5. And with that said, I think the Bills are actually to go on the road and steal a win here. Tampa Bay kind of starting to look like what they did last year. We saw what they did last year, up and down season, before hitting their stride late, winning out, coasting all the way to the Super Bowl. Something they seem like they could do now, but I've been saying all year the biggest hole of Tampa Bay still is that secondary, similar to the Ravens, that's kind of been banged up all year. That's the way you can beat Tampa Bay, and we know what Buffalo does best, and that's throw the football, Josh Allen. So I think they're going to find some success doing that. No, Buffalo's defense, no Tre'Davious White. That's a big blow, but I trust their defense to still make some stops against this Tampa Bay offense. So I just feel like right now it's a bad matchup for the Buccaneers. I think the Bills have the biggest advantage in the matchup in general in this game. So I'm going to take them and win this game outright. Another fun football game to watch, 28-24 Bills.
Yeah, Gank. I mean, we may have our bet because I'm just not with you here. The reason being Tom Brady's 5.
I'll drop the bet right now on that.
Well, let's hold on. I want to look at the other ones first because I think Buffalo can make this a close game, and it's a 3-point spread. That being said, I look at Brady 5-0 at home. I think Buffalo's offense has a good day, and they finally start getting clicking. Obviously, a more desperate team, Buffalo. But Brady in that offense is just too much for me right now. I mean, they are just clicking on all cylinders. They run the ball well. And Brady's got all the weapons. He's at home, nice weather. And it just seems like a game where Brady has a big enough day and finds a way to win last minute. Like I said, Buffalo looks good. They keep it close. I could easily see a push here. But for the show's sake, I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to take Tampa Bay to win and cover in a fun football game. Let's go 31-27 Tampa.
Love fun football games.
Love to hear that. I'm with Gank. I'm taking the Bills to win. I think this is a game just like Kansas City. I think the Bills are going to come out and show people that they are still capable of being the Bills of last year. I think they got shafted yesterday. I obviously locked them to win and cover against the Pats. I think the weather played right into the Patriots' hand because they have better defense. But with that being said, obviously Tampa, the weather's gonna be nice, and Josh Allen's gonna be able to sling the rock. I think this is a shootout. I think the Bills end up winning this game simply because they need it more. Obviously, the Bucs are going for the 1 seed in the NFC, but 9-4 they could win out and still get that 1 seed. Bills, if they fall to 7-6, they still have a trip to Foxborough. They're gonna be in a tough spot. So I think this is one of the Bills' best games they're gonna play all year. Bucs and that offense are going to score and keep up. Maybe it's whoever has the ball last, but I'm going to go with the Bills. I'm going to go 33-30 Buffalo.
Just fun football game right there.
Fun football games.
I realize I'm under by half a point when I say 28-24 too.
Wow.
I bump that up a little bit.
All right, I'll give it 28-25.
There it is.
There we go.
25.
I want that game to go over. Like,
It will.
yeah. All right, Adam, here we go. Bears prime time, baby. Sunday night in Green Bay. Pack 12.5-point favorites at home. Over under 44. As Aaron Rodgers said earlier this year, all my life I fucking owned you. Well, does he keep going with that, Adam? He's not wrong.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, he's not wrong. That's for sure. Also, I don't know if you guys remember, maybe 5 or 6 years ago, Rodgers had like 5 touchdown passes in the first half in Green Bay against Chicago. I could easily see that again. I mean, this is just, I think this is going to be a rout. The Bears are without their top, you could argue, 5 players on a team that wasn't very good before that. The team just doesn't have it in them. You can see when they play, David Montgomery is really the only bright spot for the team. I think they'll even might start the first quarter decent, run the ball. They'll do it for one drive and not run it again like they always do. And they're just going to struggle in Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers, way too much. I think this is a blowout. I really wish it was a different game because now I have to watch it on national television. But I'm going to take the Packers to win and cover with these. Rodgers has a big day, and that's all that'll be. So I'm going to go 31-14 Green Bay.
Yeah, Adam, I mean, I'm with you here. I think you kind of called the first game on the head too, because if I'm not mistaken, that game going into Chicago, I believe you said, it's going to be close. And it wasn't until late in the game when Aaron Rodgers ran that touchdown in when he had his whole moment. All my life, I fucking owned you. When fourth quarter, as you said, that's when that game ended. And you hit that nail on the head. And like I said, I'm with pretty much everything you said here on this one. I mean, you have the fact that the Packers are coming off a bye too, have a couple of weeks to prep for this one, and it's just ugly all around for Chicago. I don't see them as much this divisional game, as big as rivalry is in the NFL, and as much as you want it to be close, lots of fans everywhere for both these teams. That's why you keep this game primetime Sunday night. It's just not going to be. But we're blessed to watch Aaron Rodgers. I always watch him in primetime. That's always fun to me. But yep, Adam, I'm with you. Give me the Pack. Win, cover easily, 28-14.
Yeah, I mean, no surprise here. I'm going to take the Pack with you guys. I'm going to take them 23-6, and I think it's a nice little tune-up for Green Bay before their big trip to Baltimore next week.
Oh man, that's
23-6.
I'm not looking forward to this game.
Andy Dalton ain't putting up points in Lambeau.
No, not regular time. Maybe garbage time though. That's what you got to worry about.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I have this written down as a possibility. I just had to readjust it because 20 seconds ago, this line was Rams +3 heading to Arizona for Monday Night Football. They decided to drop it 0.5 point to the Rams +2.5. Over under 51.5. I mean, I feel like a couple of weeks ago I did this. I'm doing it again. I'm going to take another road dog to win out right here in the Rams. We saw the Cardinals beat them the first time around and everything. Talking about the Cardinals earlier, pre-show and everything, can they keep this up? Are they the best team in football? Are they the team you want to see in the NFC? Chaz, we know you've been big on the Cardinals all year, obviously proven right so far. Adam, we were talking, I think we're on the same page in playoff time anyway, where Cardinals are still not a team that scares me. Rams are a team that scares me more. I know the Rams have, beaten the teams they should have had and kind of lost the games where they're playing the better teams, minus the Buccaneers so far this year. But I think the Rams, with the coaching experience, McVay, he's coached his team to a Super Bowl before. He does know how to win this late in the season. And Matthew Stafford, obviously on a shit team his whole life, finally on a good team. He has been in the NFL for a while now. And, he's a guy I still could trust to win these type of games this point of the season. I think the Rams are still the better team than the Cardinals, and I think they'll go on the road and get a job done Monday night. And as we've been saying, fun football games, boys. Give me the Rams 26-24.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with a lot of what you said, Genk. I like the Rams here. I don't know if I'm as confident as you because they did kind of get blown out at home with Arizona with Robert Woods, and I don't even have Robert Woods.
Got Odell.
What did you say?
I said we got Odell.
Yeah, okay. Well, I will say one thing. Rams, everyone's coming down the Rams. I mean, they're still 8-4 in the NFC West in the top division, and McVay's a good coach. I feel like this is just one of those games they win, a little more of a gut feeling than anything else. Arizona looked good last week, and they're a very good football team, and they're probably going to have, one of the top 3 seeds in the NFC, if not the bye. But I just feel like the Rams get the job done here in Arizona, and more of a must-win and desperate game for them. And kind of stirs up the NFC West a little bit. Stafford and Kyle Murray have a big day, like the points. Obviously, I'm going to go 30-27 LA.
I'm going to take my Cardinals here. I think I just think they're a better team right now, and I think what the Cardinals have done all season, holding out Kyler and D-Hop to make sure that they were 100% healthy for this run, I think is going to pay off for them. The Rams, they're 8-4, but they've still only beat one team with a winning record. So I'm going to make them beat another team with a winning record before I take them to go beat the best team in the NFL record-wise right now. Obviously, Kyler saw it last week. AT three or 4 total touchdowns. He used his legs. Looked pretty good in his first game back. Obviously, Hopkins scored. So I think the Cardinals are the real deal. I liked them before the season. I didn't think they were going to be this good, obviously, but I think they're going to take care of business here and take another step to get in that bye. So I'll go Cardinals. Like the points with you guys. I think it's going to be fun. A lot of fantasy matchups are going to be dictated off of this Monday night game. So a lot of sweating
Wow.
on Monday night.
Wow, that
I'm
is
going to go
true.
Cardinals 31-27.
There is a lot. I mean,
Yeah. Playoff.
Stafford, Cup, Kyler,
Hopkins.
D-Hop. There is a
James Conner.
lot of big time, like high profile players that you count on to put up your 20+ points and played in that one.
Henderson if he plays.
Yeah, a lot of fantasy seasons and just leagues in general.
To be honest, the Sunday night game too, not so much the Bears, but I mean, you had the fucking Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Jones, Devontae Adams factor from the Packers, and then that Monday night game. A lot of fantasy matchups coming down in prime time this week.
I'm sure the Packers defense will be starting in a lot of leagues this week too. So
that's true.
Yeah, so true. All right, Adam. So I got the Bills +3.
No. Hold on. Easy. I'm not giving the Bills the 3 points just like that. What else we got? We got Niners, Bengals. We could bet. You could bet Lions, bro. You could bet the Lions again if you want. Lions, Broncos.
Take Baltimore +2.5.
I think I may take that one. Yeah, I'm with that.
All right.
Cleveland -2.5.
unfortunately, like AT said there.
It's all right. Baltimore wins that one. Cleveland sucks.
Right.
Baker's going to take $20 from you. Hope you know that.
I tell you what, if I lose $20 because Baker decides he wants to throw the football, so fucking be it. All right. We will get to our locks. Chaz, our season leader. I mean, might have locked it up. I'm actually 6 games behind you, but that's gonna take a few perfect weeks for me just to even think about catching you. So, but you are first this week. Where are we going?
Yeah, I think last time I was first, I think I went 1-2. So hopefully we don't have a losing week picking first. I got 2 overs and a favorite here. I'm gonna go first one. Me and Gank agreed. I'm gonna go Seattle, Houston over 41.5. Second, we all agreed it's gonna be a fun football game. I'm gonna take the Bills, Tampa over 52.5. And then my last one, me and AT agreed. I'm gonna take the Broncos -8 at home.
You took 2 of mine. Yeah.
That's not good. I don't like that. maybe I'll switch my pick.
You sure you want to lock him? You sure? Oh man. All right. I'm gonna take that over in Minnesota, Pittsburgh, 43.5. Scary low, which worries me because Vegas wants you to take it so they clean up. But I just see there being more points there for 2 not great, or at least 2 good offenses that'll put up points. Also, I'm going to take the over in the Niners Bengals at 48.5. I just see points there as well. I don't think either defense is that great. two offenses with, some serious firepower. And last but not least, I am going to take the Packers minus 12.5 against my Bears. I have seen that game many times, just like I saw the game earlier this year, and I really do believe that Aaron Rodgers is going to absolutely go off on Sunday night and own the Bears like he has.
Wow. Like that. All right. So that leaves me with make sure I crossed off. See what I have left. Okay. I'll work backwards here. I'll actually start with the Monday night game. Chaz, I know you're not going to like this. I have a lot of confidence in the Rams winning that game outright, so I will take them plus 2.5. Number 2, a lot of overs this week, huh?
Yeah, we have 4 already.
All right, I'm going to put a 5th in there. I'll go over 48.5 in the Vegas Kansas City game.
Whew.
5 over. 5 of our 9 picks are overs.
I don't know if I like that too much. That's where we're at. I am gonna bank on the fact, like I said, I'm expecting a big week from Pat Mahomes. As you did say, he still hasn't looked like himself this year. This Kansas City team is starting to figure it out, and once he starts to figure it out and look like himself, forget about it. This is a Raiders team where you can get a job done and do that. There's a chance Kansas City scores in the 30s. And as much as I don't like the Raiders to win at all, Derek Carr has still been playing well. He'll find his way to score points also. And number 3, I'm not going to step on Gonzo's toes. I'm going to let him have him because I'm going to toss up between Pitt plus 3. I'll let Gonzo have that, keep that one pick that game. So I'll go with the other one. I'll lay some points here. I'll go 1:00. I'll take New Orleans minus 5.5 against the Jets. I just think they have a good matchup for that game. I think the Jets are struggle to stop the run. Hopefully Kamara is back for that because I'm going to be feeling really confident about that pick. I think he has a chance to have a huge game. And the Saints just control the clock, control the game, and beat the Jets.
I like that pick, guy.
Yeah, I agree.
A lot of overs.
Wow, this is the most overs we've ever had in a week.
Yeah.
I gotta imagine.
It's not even close.
Oh, 5? Yeah.
Maybe we're all just hopeful because it's week 14 of fantasy that people put up points.
I mean, usually, we have a spread, whether it's a dog or favorite, 2 out of 3 picks, and then we'll throw in an over and under. But
Right.
5 overs. We got to mix it up, though. We got to try something.
Yeah, we got to switch something up.
All right, boys. Let's get back on the winning side. I'll be in Florida next week, so I may should be able to do the pod. I'll just have to take some notes of all the spreads and everything because I may be doing it blindly without my laptop and everything.
Hey, I did a blind when I was in Florida. You got it.
Yeah, I got it. All right, boys.